Hi there, everyone, and welcome to episode 149 of the Childless Not by Choice podcast. My name is Civilla Morgan. My mission is to recognize and speak to the childless not by choice women and men around the world, reminding us that we can live joyful, relevant, fulfilled, childless not by choice lives. And whether you have children or not, thank you for tuning in. Well, before we get started, let me just say I am battling the crazy, obnoxious green goblin, also known as all that green stuff that's all over your vehicles when you come out in the morning. Pollen. Yes, pollen. I am battling this stuff. I take 2 different medications every day, and still, the moment I step outside, I start sneezing and sniffling and all the craziness. And yes, I've tried switching the oral medication because there's one that I use as a nose spray, and then there's the oral one, and I've switched back and forth between the 2 different brands every couple of years or so. Nothing seems to be working this year, so please forgive me. Off the bat, forgive me. I will try to continue on. And then, the really important thing, what is today's show about? Well, this is March, so this must be International Women's Month. Yes, International Women's Day was on March 8th, but I, like many others, are celebrating women all month long. So, welcome to International Women's Month, March 2023. Before we continue on once again, I would like to take a moment to thank the people who make a financial contribution to this platform on a monthly basis, my Patreon contributors. Your contributions help pay my podcast producer, my podcast host, Zoom, which I use for interviews, and so many more platforms in the background, my web manager, and all the different things and people that have to be paid every month. So thank you, patrons. Thank you for all you do in and on the Childless Not by Choice podcast and platform. It is greatly appreciated. If you prefer to give via PayPal, like if maybe you want to give once or once in a while, you can use PayPal. My account at PayPal is booksbycivillamorgan@gmail.com. That's booksbycivillamorgan@gmail.com. And you can just make a deposit there. Just put what it's for, that it's for the Childless Not by Choice podcast, and I will take care of the rest. So never you fear, you can sign up to do this monthly, have a monthly debit coming out of your whichever account you choose through Patreon, or one time or once in a while through PayPal. Okay? Any questions at all, please feel free to email me, info@civillamorgan.com. That's info@civillamorgan.com, or just civilla@civillamorgan.com. info@civillamorgan.com or civilla@civillamorgan.com. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your contributions. It is appreciated. March is, as I just mentioned, it's International Women's History Month. There is so much that can be said about how far we as women have come down through the ages, and how far we have yet to go. I guess it is like any other so-called minority. There is yet work to be done, and we cannot afford to rest, but we can stop to celebrate every once in a while. Celebration gives us hope for the future, highlights those who have come before us and those who we see as the future of our world, of humanity. Sounds so deep. I thought about highlighting women who have worked to make life better for all women, whether nationally here in the U.S. or internationally. And either way, their work helps in every corner of the globe. But I've done that. It took 2 episodes to do it, too. That's how many fabulous childless not by choice women there have been and are. The links are in the show notes for episodes 78 and 79. Childless Not by Choice Women Who Changed the World. I've got a whole list. All different walks of life. Artists, painters, talk show hosts, scientists. What do you call the people that plant trees? Arborists? Anyway, from all different walks of life. So be sure to check out those episodes if you have not gone that far back in the podcast library. Episodes 78 and 79. The links are in the show notes. But There are two women I have watched and admired for over the years, and who honestly, let me just go ahead and put the word out there now, I would love to interview on my podcast, or should I say chat and talk with, because interview, I prefer chat or discuss or anything, just anything. I would love to have these two women on my podcast. I have admired them for their class and grace in the face of a world that can be really harsh toward women who never had children. I mean, what else is new? I tell you, we have so much work to do in our world, don't we? And may I remind you, I talk about the childless not by choice. That is what this podcast has always been about. But if a woman decides she would rather not have children, it is not society's business. Although society really tries really hard to make it their business, it is her business. And I don't know why we can't mind our own business. So certain people have been out there calling a certain actress a crazy cat lady. You know, calling a woman a crazy cat lady because she never had children and never wanted children says more about the name caller than it does about the woman. I mean, we don't typically get to know the real reason a woman never had children unless you listen to a podcast like mine. And I doubt name callers have the time to actually do the research before calling people names and deriding them. So, deriding us. Anyway, the first of these two women is Tracee Ellis Ross. Tracee Ellis Ross is the daughter of legend Diana Ross. She recently talked about not having children and about going through perimenopause, saying, "I can feel my body's ability to make a child draining out of me," unquote. Wow. She says, "I can feel my body's ability to make a child draining out of me." I mean, I never quite thought about it like that. To me, it's profound. It's profound. And again, why the naysayers, and there's some women naysayers out there. They seem to have all the answers and they don't realize that some of their sisters just are not able to have children. It's just amazing to me that, you know, as women, we just haven't figured that out. We're still going around asking, when are you going to have a child? When are you going to have a baby? When are you going to give your husband a child? You know, those types of things. Stop it, ladies. Just stop it. Not everyone is going to be able to have children. Please stop. Please help us and stop it. Anyway, I never quite thought about it like that before. But the other thing is she never married. So I feel like I have at least two things in common with this legend in her own right. There is a link in the show notes with the entire article. There are actually two links in the show notes with the content and stories and articles about Ms. Tracee Ellis Ross. Please check them out. You know, no one escapes the joys of sadness, the joys and sadnesses, I should say, of life. And I'm sure she has her moments, but I follow her on Instagram, and I mean, I don't think what I see is yes, she's an actress, but I believe she really has this kind of joy that's deep down inside of her. I don't think you can fake that or actress that. And I just love following her on Instagram. I just love her joy, you know? I love the way she shows up and does life with positivity, poise, and charm, no matter what. That's what I see from what she posts on her Instagram feed. So, yes, I would love to speak with her. Love to speak with her. The other person is one Jennifer Aniston. In a February 2023 Marie Claire article, Jennifer Aniston talked about the way she used to feel about the rumor mongers and naysayers who knew nothing about her personal life. Here we go again. Nothing about her personal life. But they were saying, you know, she said, "I used to take it all very personally. The pregnancy rumors and the whole, oh, she chose career over kids assumption." She says, "It's like you have no clue what's going on with me personally, medically, why I can't or can I have kids? They don't know anything." And it was really hurtful and just nasty, unquote, is what she said. And, you know, we really need to, I said it before, we really need to lift each other up as women and keep in mind that everyone has a story. Furthermore, we do not know everyone's story. How could we? How could we know everyone's story? There are over 8 billion people on this planet. There's no way we can know everyone's story. I mean, we have social media now, so more people have a voice and a platform, yes, but we still can't know everyone's story. Everybody's got a story. And I don't know, it never ceases to amaze me how absolute strangers believe they have the right to voice an opinion about another person's life or ask questions that they have no right to ask. Anyway, the link is in the show notes for the full article. Please do check that out as well. And remember, just remember, no matter where on the planet you are fabulous. Whether you are childless or child-free, you are worthy. I am hoping for you. I am praying for you. I'm speaking up for you. You are valued. You are here on this planet for such a time as this and for a reason. So a very, very, very happy International Women's Month. Do the best you can with your life all the time, not just during International Women's Month. Just know there are people out there. You may never meet me. We may never meet, but I'm rooting for you and hoping for you. And I just want you to hang in there no matter what. I know that there are some places in the world where it's just tough. It's tough being a woman anyway, and then it's tough being a childless woman. I know it. I just know it. I've done the research. I have done the research. This is episode, 149? I have talked about this before. I have talked about the fact that it is really difficult in certain places in the world, and especially as we, get older. It's not easy, and I know. So I just wish you the best. I don't know your name. I don't know exactly what country you are in, but I know that you're on my mind all the time as I create these episodes. I'm creating them for you, and I'm thinking of you. And so no matter what corner of the globe you find yourself, just know somebody that you don't even know is thinking about you and hoping the best for you. So there are lots of research links in the show notes for this episode. One in particular that I found interesting because they discuss childlessness, child-freeness, singleness, single and childless. They discuss everything. All of the angles of childlessness. So check it out. All the links are here. How many links are these? 7 different links on different things. The links on the 2 ladies I just mentioned, but other links on Childless Not by Choice. There are some statistical type links in there. And so do check everything out. Please, please, please check out the show notes on every episode. It's really worth it because I work really hard on the show notes. The show notes are like a blog. Most podcasts have show notes, and the show notes will show up like a blog. And so it takes a lot of work. I'm not upset about it. I love it because I've looked at podcasts that I would maybe be interested in following, and I go look for the show notes and it's 1 or 2 sentences. I'm like, really? Just that's it? Maybe my show notes are too much, but I don't think so. I think that there are people, and I know there are people out there who find reading the show notes maybe a little bit more helpful because they may be hearing impaired. And I always have that on my mind when I'm creating the show notes. I'm creating the show notes in such a way that if you are hearing impaired, you can maybe listen, depending on what level of impairedness there is, you can possibly listen to the episodes, but you can surely read the show notes and get the real gist and hopefully get some information and joy and help from reading the show notes. And that's why I put so much into the show notes. So please do check them out. Whether you are hearing impaired or not, please do check out the show notes. I would greatly appreciate it. Remember, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, Civilla@CivillaMorgan.com, or messenger me. I am already working on the April episode. I thought I had something else for it, but I think I am going to tell you about what happened to me the first full week of March. What happened to me the first full week of March that caused me to end up in the hospital for 4 days. I think they were trying to make it 5 days, but I was in there for 4 days, you guys, out of the blue. No warning whatsoever. I was in the hospital for 4 days. So we're going to talk about it because, hey, it could be you. If you had multiple surgeries, my last surgery was 2011. This is 2023. And what happened to me was because of stress, yes. It was exacerbated by stress, but I'll tell you right now, scar tissue. Scar tissue will be the title of the April episode. That's all I'm going to say about that. So be on the lookout for the April episode. May, I think I already have content for May, and June is Father's Day. So I think I have a list. I keep a list for what I want to do all year. The list can change just depending on if something comes up, but I have a general list of what I want to do all year, so that I have ideas. But when something like what happened to me the first full week of March, I kind of maybe put aside what I was going to talk about this. I think it's really important. It's something I never knew it was a thing, so I never discussed it. Now I know. I'm going to tell you so you can be on the lookout. Okay? So once again, happy International Women's Month. I hope the best for you, as I say all the time. Reach out to me if you need anything. I will talk to you later. Have a great one. Bye.